I think the world of digital and computational is very much like learning a new language. You kind of build it up gradually, right? So it's okay if there are things that you're not familiar with right now. And some of it you might choose not to go into. But I really don't want you to sit here and think, what is that word that that person is using all the time? I don't know. I'm not asking. It is my privilege to now introduce the ESCALATOR program and tell you a little bit more about what we are doing and how you can benefit from it, but also how you can contribute to it. Yesterday when we were driving up from Oliver Tambo, I was talking to Anelda, Henry Count and Johannes again, and as Lando was also saying, we kind of wrapped up phase 1 of ESCALATOR now, and we're heading into phase 2. I'm going to show you a slide just now that will show you also how those phases align with how communities of practice are established. So ESCALATOR isn't the be-all and end-all to helping you do or become a digital humanist or learning all the skills. It's a place where we want to connect you with the resources and opportunities that can help you go on your way or go to the next place. So we don't offer all the answers here, but we bring in people who can also help to offer solutions, offer training, collaborations, opportunities, resources, funding, and so on. So when you are listening to this presentation, I want you to listen to this as your gateway, as Anelda was saying, your gateway to, if you don't know something, if you want to meet someone, if you want to learn something, you can go to ESCALATOR, and we may know or we may not. We may be offering the training that you're looking for, or we may not, but maybe we can help you connect with someone who is offering that training, a conference where you can present the work that you are doing, showing you online resources that you can use to learn your skills, learn the skills that you are looking for. So I would like to know who here would like to help us define a community of practice. Why are we creating a community of practice? And how many times in academia have you been part of projects that create communities of practice? Have you been part of communities, projects like that? What is a community of practice, and why do we care?
My understanding of a community of practice is that it's a group of people that come together and work together on a certain project, or, for example, researchers that are interested in politics, for example, and democracy will form a community of practice to work together and collaborate on issues related to their topics of interest. And just to give an example of my university, University of Anelda, under the new strategy, they've got they want to position university to be a leading university in engaged scholarship. So the Directorate for Community Engagement and the Institute for Rural Development, they've created a community of practice, bringing together all academics who are interested in pushing the engaged scholarship and engaged research. And they also encourage academics to make sure that their research is engaged so that they can position the university to have impact in society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There was a comment from the lady.
Thank you very much. I think he has stolen my words, but let me say something. I'm part of a community of practice where all the universities of South Africa, 26 universities, are in one place, coming together for the issue of gender-based violence, which is happening in different institutions of higher learning. Those people, when they are there, they discuss about what is going on under their own universities. And what is said is a group of people coming together for one thing that they are talking about. That's what community of practice mean? Thank you.
Talking about and I would like to hear what happens in communities of practice, except for talking about existing problems.
Just to add on what they both said, in my understanding is to also eliminate this concept of working in silos, getting to understand what people in your safe space, what other people are doing, so that you can know that, oh, this is the practices that others, so it's more of learning also from one another.
Sharing practices. Behind you, Maina, in the corner there, looks like
Yes,
the conversation has moved here for this.
Yes, from my experience, how I define a community of practice, I can just give an example because I'm responsible with teaching practice where we put together experienced teachers who assist us with bringing students sent to different schools of placement, and those mentors or experienced teachers, we regard them as a community of practice to us because they assist the newly trained teachers to gain experience. Thank you.
Thank you. That is a very, very nice example as well. Sharing people who already have the experience and putting them in touch with people who are learning.
Thank you. In my opinion, a community of practice is a network of individuals who share a common interest and who regularly engage with each other by sharing experiences, supporting one another, and developing new approaches to promote the area in which they share common interests.
I love it. I heard meeting regularly, and I want to really highlight meeting regularly. One of the things that can help you be successful as you grow your digital computational skills in your research field, as you move more into digital humanities, computational social sciences, and related fields, is by engaging regularly with peers who are either walking the same path as you so that you can encourage each other and motivate each other, or people that you can learn from. So it doesn't help you come to DH Ignite and then you never see you again. It's really important, that point of meeting regularly. And then what I also really liked was developing new approaches. So we talk about our problems, we share the skills and the knowledge that we have and what we are doing in different places. And I think it comes back to what Anelda was talking about earlier today, is that we then also become creators of solutions, not just only consumers of things that are available to us, but that we also start driving the narratives and creating solutions. There was another comment somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Lucy Lendo from the University of Mpumalanga. From the perspective of a community of practice, I'm a member of the community of practice for COPAL, Community of Practice for African Language Learning and Teaching. In that group of cohorts, that is where we share information on how to embark in teaching African languages effectively. We don't only share information, we also share resources. We go along supporting other institutions. It might be new institutions in how to go about even reaching the area where we support each other on developing language policies. In a nutshell, a community of practice is about a group of a community with common goals, like academics. You share information, you support each other on research in all perspectives. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So what I can hear from the conversations here now, I've used half my time already, is that I think this is really valuable, is that you are familiar with being part of communities of practice. In general, people in the audience are familiar with being part of communities of practice. And now you are part of this community. You don't still have to qualify or fill in a registration form or apply to become part of this. you are now part of the escalator community of practice. And the escalator literally is the escalator. We're going up. We're on this escalator, we're going up. So you are on that escalator with us, you are part of our community of practice, which means we'd like to hear from you. We'd like to see you. We'd like to hear what you are busy with. We'd like to see your work. We'd like to see you asking questions. And we'd like to invite you to also share with others. What are you doing? What opportunities are there? Is there a presentation like you event? Please invite people from Limpopo and from Mpumalanga and the rest of the country. Virtual presentations, virtual training is really simple for people to share. So as part of this community of practice, there are some opportunities that is coming through the SADiLaR group, but then there are also opportunities that are coming from the audience, from the community of practice. So communities of practice are not simple. It is a long process to establish communities of practice because you have to bring people together who typically don't know each other. You have to create you have to create opportunities for people to start trusting each other, to start feeling safe, to start understanding what is on and what is not on in this community of practice. What are what is the culture of a community of practice? And I want to, as we were talking about the phases that we've been working through, the first phase of the escalator community of practice building was really a one-directional. We organized DH Ignite and we invited you and we told you what we're going to do at DH Ignite. Next up, as we move forward, as this community matures, we are getting to a space where we are more able to have bi-directional communication, input. You're going to have an opportunity to make your voice heard, tell us what you need, and that is also coming up in the next. So this is the first DH Ignite, where we're really creating the space for people to give input about what would you like to see in the escalator program. What are your needs? And that is what these boards are for as well. So this is something that might be useful for others who are building communities of practice, and I can share this. We will share all the presentations and the resources afterwards as well. So escalator, we took a while to decide what escalator will entail. So the first few months of escalator was really about thinking, what is the problem that we're trying to solve with escalator? And what is the broader impact on our South African society if that problem was solved? And then we worked through a theory of change to come up with specific activities that could help us lead to short-term goals and objectives, which would enable us to reach the longer-term goals and objectives, which would ultimately enable us to make humanities and social sciences really enable humanities and social sciences researchers to really engage with the problems that society have now in this digital world that we were talking about earlier. And these are the kind of 10 activities that we identified as important. And so everything that we do, we check against this. Is this part of those 10 activities? Just for you to have an understanding of the landscape of Escalator, SADiLaR, as you heard, is the host of the Escalator program. It's the flagship program. SADiLaR is funded through the Department of Science and Innovation. TELARIFY, it's my company. I'm working with SADiLaR, very closely with SADiLaR to design Escalator in order to hand it over to the community in the next phase. Then we've got the Escalator program, which has these 3 legs, which Langa also referred to earlier: DH Ignite, the Digital Champions Initiative, and the Stakeholder Map. Now we are renaming the Digital Champions Initiative to the Digital Training and Champions Initiative, because we have heard what our community said, and the community said they need more training. So our idea was initially that we will identify people who could be champions in their universities, but we very soon realized that for people to feel comfortable enough to be champions, they want to be empowered a little bit more, and they want more training. So we'll go to Digital Training and Champions Initiative, and then the stakeholder map, and I'll briefly explain what the stakeholder map is. We also work closely with SADiLaR's, which is the South African Humanities Deans Association from South African, from the 26 public universities. So all of what we do is presented at the South African Humanities Deans Association at their meetings, so that the deans are aware of what is happening here. And you're welcome to contact your dean and ask them what they know about Escalator and why don't you know about Escalator. We try and be forthcoming about all the opportunities that are available through Escalator and through SADiLaR and the BH Ignite initiatives. But we realize also that we need other ways to engage with our academics. So we work with SADiLaR, but we also work directly with departments, schools, individual researchers, the libraries, and anyone who comes to us. So the dean isn't your gateway to Escalator, you are your gateway to Escalator, but to formalize things and make sure that over time this will also be incorporated, the opportunities will also be incorporated in a more formal way in the universities. We do work with them. And then we connect people not only within their own institution to opportunities, resources, and people, but also on a regional level, like what we're doing here, on a national level, and definitely on an international level as well. So if you're looking for international collaborators, opportunities to present your work, resources that we've created in elsewhere in the global south or in the global north, you can come to Escalator and we can help you connect. I've already mentioned the 3 pillars that we've built Escalator on. And except for the 3 pillars, there's always surprise acts and surprise opportunities, because we try and be agile to respond to the needs that are identified within the community. Now, very, very briefly, the Champions Initiative, and we're going to talk much more about that tomorrow, has got 10 tracks. Initially, the Champions Initiative was going to be this one thing where people will be empowered to champion digital humanities at the universities. And then we realized the people that were coming to us from our community were so diverse in terms of their own expertise, their confidence levels, the place that they were in their learning journey, that over time it evolved into 10 different tracks. So in a way that doesn't necessarily make it easier for people to understand where you fit in. But we came up with some fun names and some fun icons. And what we envision with the Champions Initiative and the Champions Training and Champions Initiative is that you can move in these tracks as you grow and as your needs evolve. I think one of the things that we also know about communities of practice is sometimes you've got a lot of time that you can invest in an activity within this community of practice, and sometimes you are busy writing marking exams, you're busy writing up a manuscript, and you're not that involved in your community of practice. And in Escalator, that is okay. You can come when you have time, when you have a need, when you have something to contribute, and then fit it into your schedule of activities in your academic life. So Explorer is kind of the place where if you really don't know what this is about, almost like what we're doing here, then you can come to the Explorer track and you can learn about what is digital humanities, what do people do, like what kind of research are happening, who is doing research, and under that track we have monthly VH colloquiums, which is run virtually. All of you are invited. It's on a Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning, once a month. 1 hour of your time, and you can start to become part of the community where you can see different projects by different people from all over the world. What does it mean to do digital humanities? I'm not going to go into all the tracks, But Embarker is a more practical place. This is a place where, okay, I know I want to learn how to visualize my corpus analysis using R, and I'm using corpus, and I don't know if everyone in the room knows what a corpus is, but it's a language data set, if I can call it that. So in Embarker, we're offering, at the moment, opportunities for people who are very, very, very new to, yes, please remember to use your sticky notes if you want us to explain any terminology. Very new to programming, and you want to see how do you get started with programming. There's a whole range of other Embarker activities that is being developed, and that will be coming to you. But we are also very keen for you, if you are offering training that are accessible to people who are really just starting, you're welcome to tell us about it and advertise it as part of the Embarker track. You own it, we share the information so that you can get more visibility, more participation. And then it goes from people who are much more experienced in enhancers, so people who might want to learn specific skills in natural language processing or very advanced AI skills, or if something, you can go to the enhancer track, and that track is still under development. We have run some things there, we're coming up with new things to run there. Enabler is for people in the libraries, in the faculties, in the research office, and IT, who are more in a role where you are supporting other people's research. So you might also be doing your own research, but you're more in a position in your job where you are supporting other people's research. Because we've also found that there's a lot of need for people in that position to share. How are they teaching their research to become more digital? And that's where the enabler track comes in. Under Educator, we've run projects where people have received funding to develop open educational resources. Because we know that there are so few resources available that uses South African examples, South African data sets, explains things in a way that is accessible to our students and relatable to our students, that we are also encouraging people to develop training resources and share it with the broader community. And we will be running another project soon, and there is funding available to help you with developing open educational resources. That will be coming to you before the end of the year, and we will make sure that it's advertised to the community. Empower, we don't want to lose our women. When we are working in technology, in computer science, computational stuff, we know research shows us that we often still lose women. And Anelda was also referring to that in our conversation yesterday and today. So we want to make sure as humanities become more digital and computational, that we have a broad representation from all walks of life. Executive is to help teams and leaders in universities to set up curriculums, think about what are they going to be offering in the coming years to help their researchers, their students, to enable them to teach more relevant materials at a curriculum level. Exchanger is where we are also bringing in the people from computational sciences, because they have as much to learn about your field as you have to learn about their field. And until we don't have conversations where the humanities researchers are contributing to shaping technology, we're not going to have technology that is conducive to having healthy societies. Engager is where we're reaching out to citizen scientists, and you'll hear more about the SWIP project later today. And Enthusiast is for our champions who wants to take us to the universities. Get Ignite I've already spoken about. We were talking again yesterday about, wouldn't it be nice if I knew who was doing what? And that was one of the first needs that we identified, is that we actually don't know who is doing what. University websites don't give enough information about what research is happening within the humanities and social sciences? What methodologies are they using? What data sets are they working on? Who's looking for a supervisor? Who's looking for a student? Who's looking for a collaborator? So we have created the stakeholder map, and I will be the first person to acknowledge that it is inferior and it is not user-friendly. But it's kind of an idea, and we would love to make it more useful if only we knew that you would like to use it. So until we don't have a need, until we can't show a need and a use, we can't justify spending resources and people and money on making it more useful. So please go to the stakeholder map and tell us what you don't like about it, what you would like to see there, what you are missing, how you are interacting with it, and help us make it better for you. I am really looking forward in tomorrow's sessions. We will have formal time for you to engage with the different tracks and with the website to get your input, get your feedback. But for now, I'm getting the stop sign, and I'm actually seeing it. I've grown as a presenter as well. In the meantime, you've got us around. You're welcome to ask about the tracks, give your input, give your feedback, and yeah, we would love to hear from you. So that is me out, Escalator, a mouthful. You might not ever be part of everything that happens in Escalator, because you'll probably never get to your research if you try to do that. But I hope that you will find a home in Escalator, a place where you can grow, and that over time you will be able to track your movement through the Escalator program, going from where you are today to becoming a leader and a champion and giving back to others in the community of practice as well. Thank you very much for your time.